What's going on, YouTube? I got to make this video about immigration and about the HoTep hypocrisy on immigration, mainly from Uncle HoTep on Twitter. Had to call him out. I got to call him out, man. First of all, I'm gonna date myself on what I'm about to say. When I was younger, when we talked about immigration, we were talking about boat people. We were talking about Asian immigration, boat people, people coming from Vietnam, from Laos, and all that bullshit. And you can look this shit up on Google. All you got to do is Google this shit. 1980, 200,000 boat people came into the U.S. 1 year. How many Syrian refugees have come into this country in the last year? 40,000 at the most? It's ridiculous. This shit has been going on for a long time. And these Asians that came over in the 80s, they were not making high-paying jobs. They were on welfare. They were 3-4 generations living in the same house, taking jobs away from lower income people, just like what's happening now. That was in the 80s. Now let's fast forward to the late 90s, early 2000s. The immigrants then were the Bosnians and the Russians after the Soviet Union collapsed. HoTeps don't ever talk about that shit. They don't ever talk about the fucking Russians. They don't ever talk about the Bosnians. And to tell you the truth, they're taking jobs away from black people too. Now you can talk all you want about illegal immigration, legal immigration. Immigration's immigration. And they're taking fucking jobs away from black people and lower income people because they'll do the shit on the fucking cheap. That's how businesses run. When you're running a business, your biggest expense is payroll, your employees. So obviously you're going to try to get the job done for as cheap as possible. And I've worked at numerous places in the late 90s, early 2000s that were 5% white, 7 or 8% Hispanic, and the rest of them were Bosnians and Russians. Now those were jobs, entry-level jobs that anybody could have done that could easily gone to black people or other people. But you HoTeps don't ever talk about that shit. All you talk about is the Muslims and the Mexicans. This Muslim shit, it's just the same old fucking tired bullshit that this country's been talking about for 100 fucking years. It's just now, it's their turn. It's their turn to be the fucking whipping boys. And HoTeps always discredit when people say that Hispanics and these other minorities are taking jobs that nobody wants. Yeah, they are taking jobs that nobody wants. Look at Alabama in 2014. When they passed tough immigration laws, it decimated their agriculture industry. Because white people don't want to pick watermelons. White people aren't going to pick strawberries. People aren't going to do that shit. And Alabama found that shit out. And you can talk about, oh, I drove by this construction site. Yeah, it was all Hispanics, blah, 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 blah. I know a lot of guys that run construction companies. They hire Hispanics to do teardowns because anybody can do teardowns in constructions. Why are they going to pay a white person $18, $20 an hour to do teardowns when they get a Hispanic to do it for $11 or $12 an hour? I mean, it's just simple. It's business. Money by any means necessary. That's what you HoTep say. It's all about money. It's all about the dollars. Well, yeah, it's all about the dollars. So yeah, obviously, if you're going to hire somebody to do teardowns, you're going to find somebody the cheapest you can get it done. So when you're talking about immigration, you can't separate it between legal immigration and illegal. Immigration is immigration. They're taking jobs from people. I don't give a shit if they got papers or not. I mean, where I work right now, we got a Filipino girl. We got 3 generations living in her house, and she works there. Her mom works there. Her dad works there, and now her sister's going to get a job there. Those are 4 entry-level jobs that could easily gone to black people or lower income white people. So that's what I'm talking about, the HoTep hypocrisy. Because they don't ever talk about the other fucking cultures, Asians, Russians, Bosnians. They don't ever talk about them taking their jobs. You guys, you need to wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Because this is not a new fucking problem. Because they weren't fucking hiring blacks back in the 50s and 60s for the same fucking reason. I mean, if you look at the fucking stats, you look at the Department of Labor stats, since they started keeping track in 1954, black employment has always run 2.5 times lower than white employment. You going to blame that on Hispanics back in the 50s, in the 60s? Come on, man. It's business. Businesses are going to hire the cheapest person they can get to do the job. That's why you can't differentiate between illegal immigration or illegal immigration and legal immigration. Because even if they're legal, they're going to work for dollars less, and they're going to get these lower entry-level jobs, which is what people need. So keep worrying about immigration. Keep worrying about this illegal immigration. Build that fucking wall. Build that $20 million wall. Ain't going to do a fucking bit of good. Ain't going to put fucking jobs. It ain't going to fucking happen. It's just the way it is. It's business. Learn how business is run. Peace.